No, he covered for us.
You can go to the Rainy Brook ones?
Rainy Brook one. No, I watched it from my backyard.
Where do they shoot them from?
The field just off 500.
Good? You guys ready?
Oh.
Good morning, everyone. We'll call this the July 5th Board of Commissioners meeting to order. Will you please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have one set of minutes.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion we approve the minutes from the June 21st regular meeting.
Second, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That passes. Just so everybody can know, Tracy didn't think it was hot enough here, so he's in Hawaii right now. So, where's that?
He just texted and approved all the positions.
Oh, did he? Yeah, okay.
It's on this phone, it's locked.
I'm sorry, if you're not on a microphone, we can't hear you.
Okay, accounts payable and vouchers.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion we approve the accounts payable vouchers dated today's date.
Second, we have a motion and a second to approve the accounts payable. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That passes. We have a payroll.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion we approve the payroll from 6/24 of 22.
Second, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That passes. A resolution. Multi-hazard.
Morning.
Good morning. David Hiddle with the Area Plan Commission, here with a resolution to adopt the multi-hazard mitigation plan. This is a plan that is standing and updated every 5 years per state requirement. It allows the county to stay in the good graces of the flood insurance program and to access money, federal money, in the event of catastrophes, things like that. It was headed by our Larry Ackerman and Marty Webb and Sharon Hutchinson, and it was a little bit over a year-long effort, so it's here for your signature today.
If anybody wants to read it. There's a resolution.
And then it was approved through APC.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Mr. President, I'll make a motion we approve Resolution 2022-03.
Dash 23.
Oh, I'm sorry, -03. Is that correct?
23.
Okay. This is,
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve Resolution 2022-23-CM, certifying the multi-hazard mitigation plan. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. We
Thank
now
you.
have another resolution. Ryan?
Okay, APC's on a roll. So the development pressures that West Lafayette has experienced certainly have long ago snaked over their current corporate limits into both Wabash and Tippecanoe townships, and these development pressures will likely continue into the future. It's a attractive area. So to get ahead of this and to amend the 1981 comprehensive plan in a much more formal way, we've reached out to the two trustees for both townships, and they were on board with this idea. In fact, this idea was largely generated by the Wabash Township folks to do a formal land use planning effort for Wabash Township. We approached Tippecanoe Township because the development pressure is already in the western part of the township, and their trustee was also on board with this idea, so we decided to join both efforts as a single unit. And so this would just be the unincorporated areas of the current townships. West Lafayette agreed that if they want to do any planning within their city limits, they're already off to the races doing neighborhood plans, and so they could always ask us to look at certain other neighborhoods within West Lafayette. And the town of Battleground has actually reached out to us very recently. They're interested in joining this effort too, but in order to just kind of deal with one legislative body at a time, Battleground already has a town plan. They essentially want an amendment. They have one from the late 1990s. And so we are going to be drafting a resolution for their town council's approval to do an amendment to their town plan, just within the current town limits of Battleground. But there will obviously be some kind of cross-pollination as we plan Tippecanoe Township around Battleground. Their influence will be present in sort of both efforts because they certainly mean to expand, to annex in the future as their public facilities become available. So this is sort of the first step, is to get the unincorporated townships fully planned for a future land use expansion, and then at the same time we'll also be working with Battleground to do something for them. And so both processes will likely be working in tandem, but of course the commissioners will be the ones voting on the unincorporated areas. So we have to answer any questions.
And then what's the timeline?
Timeline, probably the better part of 6 months, my guess. We'll be asking the trustees to help us assemble some steering committee memberships, ditto for the town of Battleground, and we'll likely be engaging them directly, but it'll kind of be very fluid, depending on what they want to do. But we'll try to keep that timeline in mind to keep things moving along, about 6 months.
So one steering committee or two?
Well, there would necessarily be two because they'd be two different efforts.
Okay.
But there may be some membership that crosses boundaries.
Okay.
There may be folks in the Battleground town planning effort that will also be on the steering committee for the townships. And we've actually also invited West Lafayette presence as well, because they obviously mean to annex future areas, and so they've agreed to sort of serve as a member as well, so that their interests are taken into account.
Are you also looking at potentially there could be a new trustee in Wabash? I mean, if you're going one direction and a new trustee decides to go a different direction or whatever, I mean, are you just...
We'll be sensitive to that if that materializes, but I've not heard of that. The current occupant is all for this effort.
Okay.
So,
Mr. President, I'll make a motion we approve Resolution 2022-24CM.
Second, we have a motion and a second to approve this. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That passes. Highway?
Good morning.
Maureen.
We have a couple of projects moving ahead in right-of-way. The first is the Morehouse Project, Parcel 37, Cree Brothers LLC. We have two documents. We have Parcel 37 warranty deed in the amount of $7,500 and Parcel 37A temporary easement grant in the amount of $160.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion we approve that warranty deed and temporary easement grant as stated.
Second, motion and second to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That passes.
All right, the next project is our old 231 500 South McCutcheon Safety Project. This is a Parcel 3 Bradley Pfeiffer. There is a Parcel 3 warranty deed in the amount of $6,200 and a Parcel 3A temporary easement in the amount of $2,580.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion we approve the warranty deed and temporary easement grant as stated.
Second, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That passes.
And the last item we have is a permit to close or block a road. This is in Harrison Highlands. The HOA is planning to close portions of Sinclair Drive for a neighborhood block party on August 5th.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion we grant permission to close Sinclair Drive as stated.
Second, got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
Thank you very much.
Auditor Bob.
Yeah, we are in the process of putting together the 2023 budget requests. The first step in there is the departments have submitted their budgets, and they also submit the salary statements. and there's an Indiana code that requires me to present these to the commissioners at this meeting. And the code goes further and says recommendations by the commissioners by August 20 to the county council for any recommendations on any changes. So here's my official passing those over.
There's no bow?
There's no what?
Bow?
Bow.
Little bow on it.
Oh,
or
no, it's a shoving it at you.
Shoving it at you.
Okay, Baker Tilly then.
Do you want to explain this, Bob? It's your gap.
Gatsby.
Okay, yeah, I'm overly prepared for this. GAP is the way we have to do financial statements now for all the counties that are larger than $100,000. We have to do GAP financial reporting, which is different. Before we had done cash reporting, and this is more on the accrual basis. It does get beyond what the capabilities of the county auditors are, and Baker Tilly does most of the counties in the state that have to do GAP, and so this is a agreement for them to work for us to do the next couple years' worth of GAP statements.
And it's required for counties over a certain
It
population.
is, yeah, if we do not have GAP, we cannot bond at all. So it is required of us.
And this is the second year?
We
Or the
have
contract?
done 2 years of GAP reporting already, so this
This will be the third.
We're getting ready for the third year, yes.
Okay. And it's a fee of $75,000. It's $15,000 for independent audit support and $5,000 for GASB 87 support. With that, I'll make a motion. We approve this engagement letter with Baker Tilly.
Second, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That passes. Shirley?
Good morning. Okay, I have the, okay, that is on, right? Okay, I have the requests for new positions for 2023, starting with the maintenance department. They will be eliminating, actually, 2 positions, which would be the lead custodian. They will be creating 1 maintenance tech, which is an LTC4, 1 night custodial supervisor, which is an LTC3, and 1 custodian/maintenance, which is an LTC3. So the net would be 1.
Plus 1. Do you want to take these department by department?
Why don't we go through?
You want me to do
Just
all
go
of
through
them?
them all then?
Okay.
So, but let me ask one question. Which one of those is for community corrections? Do you know?
Well, the maintenance tech, Tony's going to be moving people around.
Okay.
So that
That-
will be, yeah.
Everywhere, yes.
Yeah.
So is the supervisor or is it custodial for community
The
corrections?
custodian/maintenance is for the 18th Street building. The night custodial supervisor is for all of the buildings, and the maintenance tech, he's going to be, like I said, moving a lot of them around for float. So they will do, at least one of his maintenance techs will take care of community corrections and the sheriff's department as needed, and then they'll be moved wherever there's work.
Okay,
Ready for me to move on?
yes.
Okay. So the next one is the Sheriff's Department. We have a Social Services and Crisis Response Specialist, which came in as a PAT 4, and that would be creating 1. We have Courthouse Security, which is a Poll 3. We need 1 of those. Communication Officer, which is a Poll 2, 2 positions. Jail Deputy, which is also a Poll 2, 2 positions. And Merit Deputy, 0 to 12 months, 2 positions. Any questions on those before I move on?
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Community Corrections, we have a request for an administrative assistant, comment 3, 1 position. Corrections Officer, poll 2, 4 positions. Surveillance Officer, poll 2, 1 position. For Do It, we have a Software Specialist, PAT 3, 1 position. A Service Desk Technician, PAT 3, 1 position. For soil and water, we have a rural conservation coordinator, Pat 3, 1 position. And those are all of the requests that I've got.
Okay. We know Tony can't be here because he's got tested positive for COVID. Sheriff, do you want to speak of anything about the positions you're looking at? Or are you okay?
No, we already had our discussion.
Jason, anything?
Nothing to add.
Cat? Chris? He said he'd take one. He had to take one.
So the software specialist is going to be handling things like SharePoint, geo permits, and these other new applications are coming online, including backing Cindy up on the DocuWare and the website. So for us to move into the Office 365, Microsoft 365, and start taking advantage of those tools, they're going to be writing code for that also. Tie things together, one of their first projects.
So that position is your priority
Yeah,
position?
yeah. The second one, we've got a couple of new buildings coming online with more equipment. We're just growing, and we need somebody to help cover the load. So ideally, I'd put them down at community corrections, and they would rotate with the 2 in the jail on call 24/7. So the 2 jail would only be on call every 3rd week, and then all 3 positions could handle jail duties, community corrections, along with answering phone and taking a lot of the remote duties off of the help desk, or some of the remote duties off the help desk, aiding there. So,
Any other questions? Okay, thank you. Chris?
Do you have questions for me?
I think I do, yes. So,
Yes. Chris, current soil and water.
so I guess basically to start, if you could explain the need for this position.
Sure. So the increased hours that we have been performing at Soil and Water the last 3 years generated us getting a grant for an agriculture specialist. That grant, we actually asked for an extension, so we do have it a few more. It'll go into 2023, which originally was supposed to end in 2023. So we also, because of the need, we asked for a grant for a invasive species technician. She does a lot of our Tippecanoe and invasive cooperative partnership. Cooperative starts with a T. So TICT works. She's been going to all the different parks. We've been working with counties, different entities in the county, personal people. I think actually Paula Bennett sent us an email about her invasive bushes in her yard. So we are working with a lot of different people on invasives. So we have gotten a grant fund for her, which is 25 hours a week. So we have our 2 county positions, and then we have 1 and 2/3 almost position that are grant funded that are helping us do the work that we need to get done. Unfortunately, both of those grant fund positions end in 2023. So without a kind of a backup, we're going to be in desperate need. So I did the hours, and basically we are going to, this year, sorry Shirley, I'm in the middle of a move, so my back is really hurting, so sorry. So according to my calculations, this year we will be at 7,320 hours. And normally you do about 19 is a full-time position here in the county. So we are going to be in desperate need if we are trying to do that with 2 people. So I do have kind of a sheet of hours. I have a letter from the board of support.
Do,
Lots of things if you need it.
so when did you say the grants expire?
So one will expire, basically, we'll run out of funds latest the end of September of 2023. The other one actually get to go to December of 2023.
Okay, and so why are we creating this for 23 then?
So the latest will be September 2023, and we just got approval on, I think, Monday for the year extension that we asked for. So unfortunately, all of these things, all these pieces seem to be moving, and we did not know. We thought it's September of 2022 we were going to lose her. I'm sorry.
Okay, so, but basically, we have this all except for maybe 3 months or so funded through 23.
If she works at the hours that we've been asking her to work, we'll run out more closer to May. But I've been trying to curb her hours so that we do have her a little bit longer.
Okay.
If you approve this position, we, no holds bar, I'd let her go.
Now, the one question Tom kind of brought up earlier, since it sounds like you're getting more on the urban side, and you used to have an urban and 2 different titles or whatever.
Right, so I was looking at the rural conservationist job description, and actually there's, other than the title, there's only 4 places in the whole job description that deals with rural on these 4 pages. And then one of them actually says, interprets detailed soil surveys from rural and community residents. So I have no problem. We are doing rural and community residents. Ideally, maybe next year, I'd ask for the rural to be dropped from one of the titles. I mean, a minor change. But
Well,
we are doing it all.
It sounds
anyway.
like
We're
both
doing it
job,
all.
sounds like the job description really itself needs to be rewritten.
I have no problem with that. It does take a little bit more, a little bit more time, a little more effort, which we have some drafts ones, but in the interest of time and the need for more help.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Anything else? Any other questions? Do you want anything?
Jason? So, Jason, you had a request in for 4 corrections officers. So, obviously, but these, actually, I should say all 6 of them aren't directly related to the addition, right?
Correct.
Because we're not really increasing.
So the addition of the 4 corrections officers would be, right now we're capped because of staffing at 100, we have the capacity for 168 participants in our facility. With staff, we have 4 shifts of 4 corrections officers, so we cap for safety reasons at 140 people in our facility. So if we want to grow to maximize community corrections, hopefully release some more strain off the jail, being able to move more people, it would add 1 person for each shift to give us a ratio of about 20-to-1 participant to corrections officer. So while we're not adding any actual bed space, if we want to maximize the facility to its full capacity, then it's going to take more personnel to do that.
And then what's your census today? I mean, how many do you have?
I think we're at 130-ish today.
And then do you have a number of those positions open currently?
No,
Vacated?
I think we're full. I think we have some part-time positions open, but that's obviously very difficult to fill these days. We fluctuate probably on a daily basis, 130 to 140, 145.
Would we expect that the user fees would cover this additional salary, the increase in user fees?
Should help offset it, yeah.
But on the other hand, adding a corrections officer, we now got to add a vehicle, we got to add this, we got to add that, or they rotate?
There's no vehicle adding for that. The surveillance officer, we would, because they're home detention, checking up on work and homes. So it'd add 1 vehicle for that, which we've budgeted in. the admin assistant, we're obviously adding an administrative area onto the new facility, so it would help cover the administrative area for that. And again, our house arrest numbers are growing. I think we were at a little over 400 last week on house arrest.
How would you prioritize these?
The corrections officers first, surveillance, and then administrative assistant.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So you want to take it department by department?
Did you want Bob to come up then or not?
We kind of talked to him a little
Okay.
bit earlier.
I didn't want you to feel left out.
Oh, no, it's a long walk, I'm halfway there.
All right, I'm going to start out with the easy part. I'll make a motion, we eliminate 2 lead custodian positions.
Okay, second. We have a motion and a second to eliminate 2 lead custodians. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
Okay? I'm going to make a motion that we approve 1 maintenance tech, an LTC 4, a night custodial supervisor, an LTC 3, and a custodian maintenance, LTC 3, for the maintenance department.
Second that. We have a motion and a second to approve the 3 additionals. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That passes.
Moving on to the sheriff's department, I'll make a motion, we approve social services and crisis response specialist, which is a PAT 4, a communications officer, which is a POL 2, and,
Excuse me. The communication, are you talking about 1 communications
yes,
officer?
I'm sorry, 1
Thank you.
communications officer. I'm sorry. And then 1 merit deputy.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. We have a motion and a second to approve these 3 additional employees for the sheriff. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That passes.
For community corrections, I'm going to make a motion, we approve 1 corrections officer, a POL 2.
Second that. So we got a motion and a second to approve 1 additional employee for community corrections. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That passes.
For Do It, I'm going to make a motion, we approve a 1 software specialist, which is a PAT 3.
I'll second that. We have a motion and a second to approve this 1 additional employee. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That passes.
And that's the end of my motions, unless you want to make a motion.
Well, what I'm just thinking out loud for soil and water, well, if we do a half position for next year, starting in like July 1st.
Well, that would be part-time, so,
No, be a full-time person, but only hired at July 1st. That way they use the first half of the year with their grants, and by the second half of the year, they'll be the full-time person.
I would be more inclined to wait to see if that grant got continued.
We already asked for continuation to get it to 2023.
I mean, but there could be other opportunities, I'm assuming. I mean, if it's,
So no action on soil and water?
I would say for right now, no, but I also say let's get the job descriptions redone and get them put together and potentially get that channel moving. Okay, so that's all you have?
That's it.
All right. We have a professional service agreement with the kennel assistants.
hang on just a second while I write my notes. Okay, thank you. All right, this is an agreement, a professional services agreement with Nicholas Miller to be a kennel assistant. This is similar to the agreement that we did, I don't know, 2 months ago, 3 months ago?
For the supervisor,
for the supervisor. And this is to be an employee at a rate of $16 per hour, to be located at the kennel. So with that, I'll make a motion that be approved.
Second. Got a motion and a second to approve this professional service agreement stated. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Reports on file. We have one from the Building Commission. It will be in the Commissioner's office for public viewing. And grants. Sharon.
Good morning.
Morning.
First, I'd like to start with asking permission to apply for the Emergency Preparedness Grant. That's $25,000, and it's to fund the further public health preparedness capacities and ongoing programs.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion, we grant permission to apply as stated.
Second. Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
I'd like to ask permission to accept, on behalf of the Surveyor's Office, a community grant from Southwire to be used for the 2022 Field Day experience in the amount of $500.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion, we grant permission to accept as stated.
Second. We have a motion and a second to accept. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
And last, I'd like to have your permission to sign the MOU with Lafayette Police Department for the FY 2022 local JAG funding in the amount of $7,692 to be used to provide additional personnel, equipment, supplies, contracted support, training, technical assistance, or informational system for our criminal justice in Tippecanoe County.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion, we approve the MOU with Lafayette Police Department as outlined.
Second. We have a motion and a second to approve the MOU. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any unfinished or new business needs to be brought forth?
I have none.
Any public comment?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Meeting adjourned.
I wanted it to